Thank you again for joining today's webinar on deploying an efficient asset management strategy, how Evides uses ISO 55000 as a process standardization tool. I'm Adam Napolitano with Banetti, and we're a full-service asset management company that focuses on asset management implementation and asset management best practices deployment. We're really happy to have one of our key partners join us today, MaxGrip, who's a leading provider of asset performance management solutions. And from MaxGrip today we have Petra Nieuwenhuizen, who's their marketing manager. Petra, I'm going to hand it off to you to get started.
Thank you, Adam. Well, also on behalf of MaxGrip, I would like to welcome everyone to today's webinar. I have now the pleasure to introduce you to Boris Neefjes, who is our customer, and Boris is the Maintenance and Technical Support Manager at Evides, and he's responsible for asset performance management in their industrial water industry. Boris has led the PAS 55 certification project and is now managing the journey of Evides towards the ISO 55000 certificate. So Boris, welcome, and hereby hand over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Petra. Well, and Adam, thank you for the introducing, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about what we do at Evides Industrial Water. It's about ISO 55000 and how we try to get the certificate. It's about PAS 55 and about asset management. I'd like to start with a small introduction of the company, then talk a little bit about asset management in general and the asset management system we use. Then the hardest part for our company, and that is how to translate the mission and the vision of our board and of our top management into the execution of the work done by the workers. Then I'll try to recapitulate and show you some of the results which we had during the asset management processes. Financial control, which is the difference between the PAS 55 and the ISO 55000. And I'll try to give you a conclusion at the end, and I hope you enjoy it. And feel free to ask whenever. At the right-hand side, you see the inside of one of our water plants. But I'll tell you a little bit more about it. This is our working area. It's the coast of the Netherlands. At the left-hand side, you see one of our water treatment plants. We try to manage 35 different plants. Most of them are water treatment plants, but also a few wastewater treatment plants, and some heating networks. As you can see, all the plants are managed by the plant managers, and parapluing that, I try to manage the maintenance and technical support department, which is also responsible for the certification and for the execution of all maintenance. Still something about asset management and how some definitions. An asset still is something that has potential value for an organization. Then the management is the coordinated activities, and the systems are all things you need to try to get the value out of your assets. And I try to translate that for our company. And the translations is what should we do, when should we do it, how should we do it, and who is going to do it. And I think that if you can answer those 4 questions, which are simple questions, but it's pretty complicated to answer them, you can manage the maintenance and the operations during the complete life cycle of an installation in a proper way. As we can see, there's one word missing, and that's the why. And the why I'll try to explain after. The challenge we meet is that we have 35 different water treatment plants with all the different customers and different demands. They all want different quality, different flows, different pressures. And we try to do this for all 35 different plants in the same manner, so that we can take cross sections and good reporting about good reports We try to do it in all the 3 different governance levels: the asset owner, asset manager, and the service provider, as the standards say. And we try to do this better than our competition because we're in a very competitive area here in the Rotterdam area. But we're coping. Why ISO 55000 or the PAS 55 certification? That was the first question I was asked when I told our board at Evides that we want to go for certification. And I tried to explain to them that for a plant, the maintenance for a plant during the complete life cycle is not so very hard. The plant consists of rotating equipment, static equipment, and electric devices. And if you have a good plan for them, so you can maintain your rotating equipment with reliability-centered maintenance. Static equipment, you can put the RBI program in it, risk-based inspection. And if you do your instrumented functions, if you test your instrumented functions, you can control your E&I devices. So the plant is not the real problem if we have good plans. The people, we can work on the people with motivation, behavior, and skills. If we can control those 3 items, motivation, the salary, opportunities to grow, or anything, behavior, which team are they perform, what's the culture of the company, and the skills with educational programs, with processes, which are quite important to show the people what they need to do and who is responsible and who can control everything. The only way to continuously improve the processes is by auditing, and we have a very good internal auditing program and a very thorough auditing schedule. But still, we are running in the same business, so we are sometimes afraid to criticize each other. And it's good to have the 4 eyes principle. That is, if you have an external auditor to look at your processes and pinpoint the weak spots in your organization. What are we looking for with ISO 55000, the PAS 55? It's all asset integrity management. It means asset integrity means the absence of foreseeable risks. We try to continuously improve, and by mitigating the risk, we also look at the opportunities and the chances we have, and that leads us to the 4th dot, and that is so we can grow. And all processes which are audited by the ISO and the PAS standard help us by trying to accomplish these 4 dots. Our systems, we as all companies do have a mission and a vision. The mission and vision are all directional goals. So it is our job with the maintenance and technical support department to try to translate these directional goals into measurable goals. And the measurable goals leads to a certain strategy. And that's an operating and maintaining strategy which is distracted from the mission and vision. There we have it. And we have put this strategy into an RBM matrix, and it is risk-based maintenance matrix. And in this matrix, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it later, we have in one clear overview all our 35 treatment plants, and every step we have to take on every plant to perform good asset management during the life cycle of these plants. So it's a strategy for our mission and vision. And this is why we do what we do. These are our company values. When we're ready with this, we have nothing yet, so we have to go to make plans. And our plans we try to put in our maintenance management systems. So when we make the strategy, and all the steps we have to do. We can put all these steps into an agenda, and the agenda is the maintenance management system. And there we create preventive maintenance actions, we create work orders, and we file our failures. We have 35 different plants, so we have quite a lot of failures. Every year we've got 1,200 of them, which are priority 1. So we have to do something about it. That's why we register it. When this is finished, we go to the execution of the plans, operation and maintenance. Everything what is executed, we try to put in our information management system. That is where also the failures are registered. And this is the process of operations. So this is where we make the water, or where we try to clean the wastewater. After this is done and we are operating, we're making water, we try to see if we can make it better and more efficient. So we have to make reports, and we have to look how it's going in general. Therefore, we have made an asset status list. All our assets are quite in good condition, but some of the things are not that good, and we need to improve them. That is why every month we try to take a top 5 of repetitive failures and a top 5 of cost drivers in the failures. And they come by us as a status list, and our reliability engineers analyze these failures. Sometimes, most of the times with the 5 times why method, and sometimes we use the code think method, which is more complicated, but more thorough. 5 times why methods most of the times is sufficient to come to a good root cause. If it is executed well, which is not very easy for us, although it looks simple. Next to the as a status list, we've got our KPI reports, which tells us if we do what we agreed with each other. So is the preventive maintenance task are done in time, or the other work orders, and how many failures do we have every month. When we have those 2 lists, we try to react on the asset status list. Every failure has to, we have to do something with it. Most of the time, the RCA, the 5 times why, is enough to mitigate the root cause. Then most of the times, a management of change follows. This is an adaptation to an installation or a process or an automatization program. Or we adapt the DEPs, and the DEP stands for Design and Engineering Practice, and those are our building standards. So every failure is analyzed and put into to the next step. When this is done, this is how we tell that we produce our water or our wastewater on spec. And this is everything we do with our asset management system. This is how it looks. And we like to think that this is the circle of plan, do, check, act. Everything that goes wrong is put back into the maintenance management system, and everything that is measured is put back in our strategy to continuously improve. Now this is easier said than done, and I'll try to go a little bit more into the detail of how we do it. Mission and vision. I think that all the attendees of this webinar know from the top of their head the mission and vision of their company. That's not so difficult. That's the what question, and that's the first question we need to answer. The mission and vision of the company, of our company, is that we try to be a pioneer in process control. We try to do a constant measuring of the satisfaction of the clients. So we try to improve the customer focus. We like to grow a little bit. And we try to do that all with the eye for the environment and try to be involved in the environment. So that's the question answered for what we do. Still directional. Then comes when we do it, and here is our strategy matrix. We translated the mission and vision in our 6 company goals, which is quality, quantity, safety, law, legislation, image, and safety. I did that again. Oh, there's one more. There are 6 altogether. Oh, costs. I forgot the second most important after safety. In the left table, I don't know if you can see my pointer, but in the left table here, there are 35 different water plans. And these 35 different water plans all have a plan and a date. This is a plan which ends until the year 2020. And what it says here on the top is that we first have to be sure that the data we have from of these plans, that is correct, that we do a good risk analysis, that we try to draw conclusions from it and put it in a maintenance management system and guard the process. So the asset data is consisting of try to collect the P&IDs, check them if they're right. We've got technical documents, software descriptions, and we have to structure everything in the same way so that all our 35 different plans have the same structure, the same amount of levels, so that we can easily get our reports from our central maintenance management system. When we control the data, you see here the data, and the data is divided into 5 steps. Then we go to the risk analysis. We try to do that on a very detailed level. So we go to the actual assets. We put the risk matrix in our software program. We use Optimizer for that by MaxGrip. Then we fill in the grid. We tell the software what is the MTTF and what is the cause of failures and what are the effects, deviations, and so on and so forth. Then we let the software do their work and create a risk matrix for us for our 6 company values. And when that is done, we can appoint the critical components of our installations, and those are the components which are critical for our company values. And we can do a spare parts list. We can create a spare parts list. And that's all we do at the risk analysis part. We don't do this only for our mechanical assets, but we try to do it also for our PA systems, as they are the heart of our installations most of the time. When we've done that, we go to our maintenance management system. We name the critical components, we name the spare parts, we name the maintenance that needs to be done, and after everything is finished, this takes, if you take a small plant, about 2 years to complete road. We try to evaluate. Our ambition is to do every 5 years a complete cycle of every plant. But once the first one is done, the second one is more easy, because if there's no changes in law or legislation, or if we didn't build anything extra, most of the times there's no difference here. So we did what we have to do, and now we know when we have to do it. And the next question was, let's go back. Oh no, I know it. The next question is, who is going to do it? Or how are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? That comes from our maintenance management system, in which we put the PMs, which are a direct result of our maintenance program. And we created the blueprint, in which the 3 governance layers are set, and all tasks for the governance layers are mentioned. And we have to do this because we've got quite a lot of asset managers, which are the plant managers for all the different regions. And they have to work in the same matter as their colleagues, and the asset owner has to look at the monitoring of the performance and cost, and the asset owner has to get the same report for every plant manager. Otherwise, no, it's more clear. So you can compare the different plans. So these are the tasks. How are we going to do it? We set corporate values, risk frameworks, and strategic asset management, and we try to do it within the law and within the regulations, and we try to manage these asset management process. So this is the job the asset owner has to do, and the asset owner with us is the general manager, CEO. Then we go to the plant managers and the maintenance manager, and we have to control the data, take risk inventories, make maintenance concepts, create a long-term asset plan, and manage the project portfolio. And we manage the maintenance programs and contracts. And more important, we have to monitor the performance and the costs and report to the manager, the general manager. So we have to report the performances. After this is done, we go to execute it. All these levels we do with ourselves. We have no external workers. Yeah, we've got a few, but most of it we do ourselves. And this is the most hard governance layer, I think. This is where the actual work is being done. It says it for itself. The hardest part is that the coordinators and the planners and the workers monitor, record, and produce. But this is how we do it. Everybody's got a task, and everybody knows what they have to do and where they start and where they finished and what they have to report. And now we go to who is going to do it, and that we put a hierarchy matrix for all these processes. And for instance, one of the process we saw earlier in the previous sheet was monitoring performance and cost, and these are the process owners, and this is what they have to do. And so all these small, all these small processes, we put them into a process flow, and all the steps for this process we put here, and we put the inputs and the outputs. So everybody knows exactly what the input is they can expect from their previous process owner, and what the output is here, which they have to deliver to the next. Of course, this is quite a lot of work. But when we do all processes like this, we know exactly who has to do it. So when we are finished, also for all processes in the asset management system, we've done the Deming Circle. Here we see the long-term asset plan, which we have, the mission, vision, strategy, maintenance management system, execution, monitoring, and improvement. Then we see exactly what we have to do. We see who's going to do it, and here's the RBM planning. When do we have to do it? So this is how we try to manage the assets with Evides Industry Water. And these are the results. These are real-time reports, which we can create because of the standardization of all inputs and all levels in the tree structure of all plants. This is a business intelligence tool, a piece of software which extracts all information from our CMMS and from our financial system, Microsoft Dynamics X we use. This is also the result. We've got a lot of, it's in Dutch so you can't read it, but we've got a lot of KPIs and PIs, performance indicators named. We can measure them all, streaming, and we can see who is responsible, and we try to put together a meeting schedule so that we can in an efficient way monitor the processes of the service provider, monitor the processes of the asset manager, and monitor the processes of the asset owner. And that's how we do it, and that's how we got certificated for our PAS 55. So this is, in short lines, how we do it. But then PAS 55 well, we got the certificate, but then in 2011, the International Asset Management Society, the IAM, introduced an initiative to develop an ISO standard. And the ISO standard was published in the beginning of this year here in Europe, and I think also in the United States. So our CEO said and told us, well, that's the next certificate we like to have. I always told that the way we got the PAS 55 certificate was not because we wanted the certificate, but it was a conclusion of the way we worked, so we didn't have to do any extra effort for it. But we didn't know exactly what to expect from the ISO 55 standard. But the main difference was that from the PAS 55 and the ISO standards, the main difference is that the ISO standard looks a little bit more for financial transparency, and where are the budget going, and how are they made. So we had to make a long-term asset plan which fitted the organization, also about over 35 different plans. And this is what it looks like. This is a plan. This is the start, the building of a plant, and this is the demolishing of a plant, and everything which goes between it is life cycle management. Our plan, our long-term asset plan, ends in 2035, so it's quite a long term. But every year it ends a year later. So next year the plan goes to 2036, and so on. And in the plan, yeah, these are all inputs which we need to put into the plan. The management, the mission, the vision, the strategy can change. If we have to do more for the environment, we can put windmills on the roof. We have to reserve money for that. Law and legislation, our license to operate can change. Permits can go stricter. If we may have to make investments, we have to put it in the plan. Sales and marketing is the biggest influence on our plan. Leads cost money. Changing customer needs. They want to pay less for the water, or new customers, or they want more or better quality. It all has effect on our long-term asset plan. Economic developments and contracts can change. We had a recession in the recent years, so some of the clients went bankrupt. Fortunately, not a lot of them, only one. But it also affects our long-term asset plans. It influences it. Then we check the performance versus the business case. If we expected to make a profit of a certain percentage, let's say 10% or 20%, and the actual numbers are 12 or 8% or 18 or 22%, it has effect on the long term. And of course the end of the contract arrangements. These are all inputs for the long-term asset plan, which sometimes are forgotten by the budget makers because they look at maintenance strategies and end-of-life cycles most of the time, and building of new plants. These are all some harder inputs. Obsolete assets. If a PA system needs to be replaced, it can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you're close to the end of the contract, well, or you have to talk with the client, or you have to go with the way it is and don't invest. Actual external events can occur. Management of change or deviation of company goals can have input. The maintenance strategy can make the long-term asset plan over a plant more efficient or less. And the end of the life cycle needs investment, can lead to investments. Risk-based inspection, RCA, RBM, and research and development are also inputs. So we have put this all also in a strategy, and the strategy looks like this. Let me see. No, this is the result of the strategy. It gives a clear view, real time also. The numbers I've watched a little bit, so don't look at them. Where we stand and where we are going, and what is the difference between the planned budget and the actual budget, realization and budgeted. Also real time, so this is also a smart business intelligence, which gives us control of our financial status and keeps us competitive. And also helps us to make smart appointments with customers, smart agreements. This is what is needed for the 55. So the conclusion of this presentation is that we, with our asset management team, have translated our mission and vision into a certificate on asset management of the past 55, and in the fall of this year we tried to certificate for the ISO 55000, but we don't expect any problems there. Well, that was it for me. I thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, or be free to ask, I think.